A farmer walks to his field at harvest. He cuts the grain, he gathers the sheaves, and then, by law, he stops. What he leaves behind is not waste. It is not his to take. It belongs to the widow, the orphan, the stranger. Today, God builds a safety net into the harvest itself. Day 53. Justice all the way down. Deuteronomy 24-27. Moses is almost out of time. He can feel it. Every word now is weighted. Every law is chosen. He's not reciting a list. He is painting a picture of what this nation is supposed to be when it finally settles into the land. And the picture he keeps returning to is the same one. A nation that remembers Egypt, remembers slavery, remembers what it felt like to have nothing and be at the mercy of people who had everything. Remember that and then govern yourself accordingly. If a man is poor and gives you his cloak as collateral on a loan, return it to him before sunset. It is the only covering he has. It is what he sleeps in. If you keep it through the night and he cries out to God, God will hear him, and God will hold you responsible. Do not take a pair of millstones as collateral, not even the upper stone alone. Because a man uses his millstones to grind his grain. Take them and you have taken his livelihood. You have taken his family's bread. A debt cannot be collected at the cost of a man's survival. Do not take advantage of a hired worker who is poor and needy, whether he is an Israelite or a foreigner living among you. Pay him his wages each day before sunset. He is counting on it. He has set his heart on it. If you withhold it and he cries out to God against you, it will be sin on your part. These are not suggestions. They are the architecture of a just society, built one transaction at a time, one worker at a time, one poor man's cloak at a time. Fathers shall not be put to death for their children. Children shall not be put to death for their fathers. Each person dies for their own sin. In the ancient world, this was not obvious. Collective punishment was standard. If a man betrayed the king, his whole family died with him, his children, his grandchildren. Guilt was inherited. Blood was shared. God says no. Each person answers for themselves. The son does not carry the father's crime. The father does not carry the son's. One sentence. Revolutionary. When you reap your harvest, do not reap to the very edges of your field. When you pick your vineyard, do not go back for the grapes you missed. When you harvest your olives, do not go back over the branches a second time. Leave it, all of it. For the foreigner, for the fatherless, for the widow. Remember that you were slaves in Egypt. That is why I command you to do this. The poor are not asking for charity. They come to the field and do the work of gleaning themselves. What the law provides is access, the right to what the wealthy landowner deliberately leaves behind. It is dignity, not handout. Work, not welfare. The poor earn what they take. The rich are simply required to make room for them to earn it. Ruth will glean in this field one day. Boaz will leave extra. The whole story hangs on this law. Do not have two differing weights in your bag, one heavy, one light. Do not have two differing measures in your house, one large, one small. Use accurate weights, use accurate measures. For the Lord your God detests anyone who does these things, anyone who deals dishonestly. The marketplace is a moral space. Every transaction is a test of character. The merchant who keeps two sets of weights, heavier when buying, lighter when selling, is not just cheating his customers. He is desecrating something God cares about. Honest scales, honest measures, honest dealing. The entire economy of a just society rests on whether people tell the truth about what things weigh. When Israel enters the land, when the first harvest comes in, they are to take a basket of the very first fruit and bring it to the place God chooses. And then they are to speak. Not a prayer exactly, not a sacrifice exactly. A declaration, a recitation of the whole story, out loud before God, holding the fruit in their hands. My father was a wandering Aramean, and he went down into Egypt with a few people and lived there and became a great nation, powerful and numerous. Jacob, hungry. 70 people going down into Egypt looking for grain. But the Egyptians mistreated us and made us suffer, subjecting us to harsh labor. 400 years of slavery. Then we cried out to the Lord, the God of our ancestors, and the Lord heard our voice and saw our misery, toil, and oppression. And God acted. Mighty hand, outstretched arm, signs and wonders, out of Egypt into this land, flowing with milk and honey. And now I bring the first fruits of the soil that you, Lord, have given me. Then they set the basket down. They bow before God, and they rejoice. This is the whole Bible in 12 sentences, told at harvest, holding the fruit, standing in the land that was once only a promise. You did not earn this. You were slaves. God rescued you. This fruit, this first fruit of this harvest, is proof that every word he spoke was true. Set it down. Bow. Rejoice. Then Moses gives them their first assignment for the moment they cross the Jordan. Not a battle plan. Not a strategy session. A ceremony. Cross the river. Go to Mount Ebal, set up large stones, coat them with plaster, and write on them, clearly, every word, all the words of this law. Build an altar of uncut stones on that mountain. No iron tool has touched them. Offer burnt offerings. Offer fellowship offerings. Eat there and rejoice before the Lord. 6 tribes stand on Mount Gerizim to pronounce blessings. 6 tribes stand on Mount Ebal to pronounce curses. The Levites call out each one. All the people answer, Amen. Cursed is anyone who makes an idol. Amen. Cursed is anyone who dishonors their father or mother. Amen. Cursed is anyone who moves their neighbor's boundary stone. Amen. Cursed is anyone who leads the blind astray. Amen. Cursed is anyone who denies justice to the foreigner, the fatherless, the widow. Amen. 12 curses. 12 amens. The whole nation standing on 2 mountains, calling out across the valley between them, sealing the covenant with their voices the moment they arrive. They have not yet unpacked. They have not yet planted. They have not yet built. The first thing they do in the land is declare, we know the terms. We know what is required. We know what happens if we fail. Amen. 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 Justice all the way down. In the field and the marketplace. In the courtroom and the harvest. In the cloak returned before sunset and the millstone left at the door. A nation that remembers where it came from and governs itself like it means it. Tomorrow. The blessings and the curses in full. Obey and the rain comes, the crops multiply. The nations fear you. Disobey and the sky turns to bronze, the ground to dust, and the horrors of Egypt return. Moses holds nothing back. See you then.